On the road, looking for a win against their Western Conference rival, the Dallas Mavericks, are ready for this thing to get started. Good evening and welcome to tonight's presentation. La NBA, an annual tradition in the NBA, celebrating diversity and culture, and always a pleasure to bring it to you. I'm Kevin Harlan, joined by Chris Webber and Greg Anthony. David Aldridge is our sideline reporter. Look at the Lakers. All fueled up and ready to go. Brought to you by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. On the court for the Mavericks. Barnes at the 3 with Dirk at the 4. Smith is out there with Farrell. And it's Powell in the center position. Caldwell Pope brings the double team. It's stolen by Randall. Fast break, the Lakers. And Caldwell Pope gets the basket. Caldwell Pope's got his first points in this one.
Leaving the rest of the field in the dust.
Well, while he's out there making the play, everyone else is watching. Solid individual effort.
Now, here's ball. Dirk Nowitzki unable to get his shot to go. Pass to Kuzma. Jacks up a 3. Hands it from downtown. Kuzma's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. Powell with the screen. Pass to Farrell. Inside. Stolen by Ball. Fast break. The Lakers. Throws it down despite the man right in his face.
You see some all-star potential for some of their young fellas. Superstar potential, though, tougher to say. They've got something to build on, though, and that's key.
Smith for 3. And it's the Lakers' ball. They've picked up 11 straight. Here's Kuzma. And again, it's the Lakers from deep.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get.
So it's the Mavericks now. Still without a basket in the game. Here's Smith. And the layup's good off the glass.
Oh, after falling short on their first 4 shots, they got one to go, and now they're 1 for 5 from the field.
And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contest.
Realizing our tone and our culture is what equals wins, not just the win. So it really depends on how you look at it, and usually veteran teams know how to handle winning more so than younger teams.
Starting to surge here, and we're only in the first quarter.
And it's happening at both ends, trying to end this thing before it begins.
Now here's Nowitzki. He's playing a pretty big role for him at the offensive end, averaging about 12.5 points a game.
He may have missed it, but that's a clean look at the basket.
Here's Kuzma. Shoots over McDermott. Kuzma can't get it to go. Mavericks trailed by 14. Kicks to McDermott. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Caldwell Pope.
So close to getting the steal there, but the deflection equally as effective.
Oh, man, yeah, he read it all the way. He got a jump on it. Very close.
Isaiah Thomas, he's checked in for Los Angeles. Then for the Mavericks, Nerlens Noel comes in for Dirk Nowitzki. And Barea subbed in for Smith. Here's Lopez. And that one comes up a bit short. Barea against Thomas. Noel sets a screen for Barnes. Down low. Here's Noel. And a lot of contact.
Guys isn't used to rebuilding, but they are approaching it, I think, the right way.
Catching up on the changes for Los Angeles. Ivica Zubac has checked in for Brook Lopez. And it's Tyler Ennis in for Caldwell Pope.
Oh, that's just poor defense. Matching up in transition, left a good shooter wide open.
Here's Ennis. Buries it from three-point range. Ennis has got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. 5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. In the corner, Farrell. It's out of bounds. The Mavericks able to be patient with him, though, as he rebuilds.
I hope so. I mean, the fact that he's a familiar face, a SoCal native and a former Laker, helps by patience from the fans. Also, his deal is guaranteed through 2020. They need to give him a chance.
Thomas dishes to Randall, and Randall throws it down.
Yeah, I mean, maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that one.
And we know he... And there's the pass to McDermott. Good, and it's Berea who picks up the assist. McDermott's got 5. Thomas passes to Kuzma. Oh, a nice defensive play to disrupt the alley-oop. Here's Smith. Had a chance there to cut it to single digits, but it's off target. So for Dallas, their last game lost to the Nets in Brooklyn.
Yeah, and in a hostile environment, they did not rise to the occasion, especially on the defensive side.
Oh, yeah, they allowed way too many easy buckets. I thought they lacked toughness and energy all night.
Here's Kuzma. Lays it up and banks it in. He's got 8.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Stolen by Zubac. Outside Thomas. Zubac, that's good. And the Lakers lead by 14.
And I think that play sort of sums up what we've seen tonight. Just simply being outplayed both sides of the ball. Smart basketball defensively, turning into easy points.
From deep, Berea. Offensive rebound. Mejri. Smith drives in. It's hauled in by Zubac. Los Angeles leading by 14.
Well, the Lakers are enduring the worst 5-year stretch in the franchise's history. They missed the playoffs in consecutive seasons only once, and that was back in the mid-70s. Last season, their 4th straight in the lottery.
Dirk Nowitzki, he's checked in for the Mavericks. Harrison Barnes comes in for Doug McDermott. Back to Berea. Feeds it to Nowitzki. He dishes it to Powell. From deep, Berea. And that one's good. His second basket of 4, shooting 50%. And the Lakers have always considered themselves a championship or bust type of franchise.
Well, that mentality runs up against the reality of their situation. I mean, they seem to have accelerated the process with some draft fortune and free agent signings. I mean, especially with Magic coming back, you know the magic is back. This upcoming offseason will be a big one for them.
Three-pointer. Another 3 for Dallas.
They're having more success from three-point range here in the second after a rough first quarter from deep.
For 3, Caldwell Pope. Ball kicks to Caldwell Pope. Another miss by Caldwell Pope.
And just not able to find the target from three-point range here in the second quarter, although he did knock down 1 in the first. Yeah, this looks like a pregame shoot-around with all the threes they're allowing.
Ball dishes to Lopez. Shoots over Powell. And Brook Lopez, the bucket on the assist by Ball. Looking at Los Angeles, they want to turn it around after the loss to Miami.
Well, listen, I've seen worse performances offensively, but no doubt that group was inconsistent.
They would look like they had it figured out to take a couple bad shots and be right back to where they started.
And he's good on the 3 ball. Berea's got a couple of 3-pointers in the second for the Mavs.
Their 3rd 3-pointer in a row.
Here's Ball. Good work defensively by Smith. He feeds it to Nowitzki. Takes the 13-footer. Again, the miss by Nowitzki.
You know, they don't score on that shot, but they're going to be happy with those kinds of possessions.
Basket good. Berea. No good that time. And so it's Los Angeles in the...
With the score of
As you've transitioned from being a player on the floor to the booth.
You know what? I've learned a lot, and I learned to look at the game a different way, but I look at the game the same way. I think the onus is on the player to execute what the coach and the GM puts out there for you to do, for you not to become a one-dimensional player, for you to improve in the summertime. That's the only time you can improve. And when you don't come back and you don't improve, it's obvious that you have the same glaring weaknesses that you had the year before. Even if you're not on the team that can compete for a championship, you want to make sure that you compete for a championship, that you compete for an all-star, that you compete to have your name out there. And so a lot of times we'll watch some of those teams, and I love seeing if they compete or if they laid it down early in the season. So, no, I would say that really what gives me an advantage is that the way that I looked at the game, and hopefully, you know, that gives me a unique perspective when I'm out there trying to talk to other basketball heads like myself.
Randall is the 4 with Lopez in the middle. Ball runs point with Kentavious Caldwell-Pope to his side. They're the backcourt. And it's Coop. And for the Mavericks, you look at their young guys, a lot of athleticism, and Greg, an upside already on the roster.
And Mavs fans have to be pleased with what they've done so far. I mean, especially with the selection of Dennis Smith in the draft, who can be a special player at that point guard position. They're making smart moves to kind of revamp this roster.
Here's Smith. He's got 9. Not quite 2.5 minutes played here in the second half. In the corner, Farrell. Out to Smith. Shoots the 3. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Down through the hoop it goes. That's his 5th make on 9 shots from the floor. Outside for Thomas. Back to Lopez. Measuring with the steal. Pass to Farrell. And it's Kentavious Caldwell-Pope with the foul. Just under 3.5 minutes played here in the third quarter. Hits it from 3-point range.
And the D has gotten a little bit lax.
Look at that jam! I mean, just beautiful.
He's going to put that one in his scrapbook. Insane dunk.
And now they're starting to rub it in. Build up a lead, and here we go, baby. It is showtime. Now Barea. He's got 11. The dish now to Barnes. Clock at 4. Over Randall. That one wide left.
Defensively, they could have done better. That's an open look he'd like to have back.
Thomas passes to Ennis. Back to Thomas. Outside for Caldwell-Pope. That's good. And it's Thomas picking up the assist. And now it's an 11-point Los Angeles lead.
Maybe he's not one of the elite sharpshooters, but even still, that's not a shot that he...
Randall is screen on Barea. Thomas gets the bucket.
And you can see it. They're in a nice rhythm in terms of shooting. It's been that way the entire second half.
Yeah, they've come out of the break with an eye toward efficiency. One of the advantages they hold in this game.
Noel sets a screen for Nowitzki. And slam dunk by Noel.
And didn't do anything fancy there, but didn't need to.
Nope, his only concern right now is getting the points on the board. And I don't mean style points. And so it's the Los Angeles Lakers. Let's start in the fourth quarter here. Barnes at the 3 with Dirk at the 4. Farrell is out there with J.J. Barea. And it's Powell in at the 5, roaming the paint.
Not a lot of resistance on the inside, and they're taking full advantage.
From deep, Barea. The three-pointer is right on target.
Another one. Man, he's just gotten into a great rhythm out there.
And part of this falls on the defense. I mean, you know he's hot. You'd like to force someone else to shoot the basketball.
Here's Thomas. They get it back. The feed to Randall. The second chance effort. That one falls, coming off of Thomas's feet. Thomas got his 5th assist in this one. And Chris, when you played, you were known as a guy your size who could rip and run, take it coast to coast. You look around the league now, who are some of the best big men ball handlers?
Oh, you love it. If you get that board, you got to be able to take it, speed up the offense. We've seen Draymond just have a field day doing it with all the players on his team that could knock it down and score. Blake Griffin, Anthony Davis. We've even seen Paul Millsap and Julius Randle do it a little bit to be a little more disciplined.
For 3, Smith. Good on the three-point shot. Smith's got it back down to within single digits for the man. Pass to Kuzma. And they wasted no time getting those 3 points back.
I love his shot selection today. He set the bar for the rest of the team.
In the corner, Smith with it. And it's good off the back of the rim and in. Smith's got 5 points in the quarter.
That's not a possession they'll want to repeat. Despite the points, they got to get a better shot than that.
Nice ball movement here by the Lakers. Kuzma, that's good.
And when you're down this many points, hard to justify leaving a good shooter that wide open.
Well, the game looks like it's starting to wear on them. Unable to get out, defend the perimeter, unfocused. It's a bad sign.
The jump hook. Nowitzki's shot is no good. Los Angeles leading by 12. Ball kicks to Lopez. Now here's Randall. Back to Lopez. Over in the corner, Caldwell Pope.
No question as to which team gave the better effort tonight. A dominant performance and an outstanding win for Los Angeles.
What do you think was the deciding factor in this one?
I think you have to look at their field goal percentage. They just shot the ball much better than the opponent, and they were getting great looks all game long.
Was for Julius Randle.
Well, he had a hand in just about everything they did tonight. I mean, he just didn't take a single possession off on either end. He was the complete package.
Looking at who's out there now for the Mavericks. Measuring, he's checked in for Dwight Powell. Noel comes in for Dirk Nowitzki. And Barea subbed in for Smith. From deep, Barea. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. Now 8 seconds separating the two clocks. Kicks it to Ennis. The pass to Zubac. Back to Ennis. And that's a foul call on J.J. Barea. That is his first foul of the game. 16 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Pass to Kuzma. He kicks to Caldwell Pope.
Mavericks foul.
Seconds left to play in the final quarter. Barea with it. From deep. No good there. So it's Los Angeles winning this one easily. It was a tale of two teams tonight. One that was in total control, operating flawlessly, and the other just searching for answers that they could never find.